This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and what I have for you today is the trigger lock that is distributed with many Remington shotguns and rifles. It's not actually made by Remington. It's made by a company called Regal out of Victor, New York, which imports a whole bunch of different kinds of gun locks from China. Now, if the name Regal sounds familiar, it may be because you've seen it previously in some of my videos on firearm locks. And it includes these locks that are distributed with Smith & Wesson and Beretta firearms. So certainly a well-established company in the firearms lock community. Now let's take a look at this. It is the Regal model RTL06. It's designed specifically for Remington products, and it has very, very good fitment on this gun because of that. But before we look at that, let's take a look at the design. It is a standard trigger lock design, two clamshell halves that come apart once you unlock it. It appears to be made mainly out of some kind of polymer. My best guess is a fiber reinforced nylon. And you can see it is reinforced with some metal posts and also some metal plating on either side. So, a relatively robust construction for a plastic lock. And then we have the core here, which when you turn the key, turns that rotating bolt, which locks the two halves together. And that appears to be a double-sided wafer lock. So let's see how this fits onto the gun. We put one half through the back of the trigger guard. And if we look at this, we can see the fitment is very good. The trigger guard or trigger lock follows the trigger guard, contours very nicely. And we also have this piece of plastic behind the trigger. And that's really important because that physically stops the trigger from being pulled while the trigger lock is installed. So you can't insert a wire or a piece of metal or shim of some kind and pull this trigger despite the fact that this is locked. That's a very important feature. So let's finish locking this up. Let's see. Got the two halves together. Now we just turn that key and we're locked up. Let me turn this around so you have a better view of it. Okay, so we have this lock installed, and I think it has pretty good fitting. The construction isn't bad. It certainly could be better, but we're talking about a relatively inexpensive lock here. The question then becomes, is this adequate? And relatedly, what it takes to get into this. Now, in the comments in a lot of the firearms lock videos, I've been receiving the same comment over and over, and people are saying, hey, you're being way too tough on these locks. These are designed to keep little toddlers out. And you know, maybe that's true, but that's not the litmus test for me. For me, I don't like a firearms lock unless I can say with some degree of confidence that this lock will keep a curious adolescent from firing the gun without any destructive attack. So essentially someone rummaging around in their parents' room when they're not home or they're downstairs, are they able to access this gun non-destructively? And I think the answer is probably going to be yes with respect to this lock. Now, it is a double-sided wafer lock, which means we can't do what we've done on a couple of the other wafer locks we've seen, and that's just zip it on one side and it opens up. What we will have to do is zip it on two sides. So the first side, second side, and we just unlock this gun that quickly. So as you can see, the core in this lock is not very robust at all. Anyone with even a rudimentary knowledge of lock picking is going to be able to open this very, very quickly. So clearly not something that I would rely upon. That's all I have for you on this trigger lock that is distributed with certain Remington firearms. If you do have any questions or comments about it, please put them below. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you.